CBC host shut down as conservative deputy leader explodes in live confrontation. It was one of those moments that live television thrives on, where the usual script of talking points and journalistic probes gives way to something far rawer. The clash between conservative deputy leader Melissa Lantsman and CBC host David Cochrane on power and politics turned into an exchange that was impossible to ignore. Lantsman, known for her sharp political instincts and no-nonsense demeanor, found herself pressed by Cochrane on her party's messaging and tactics. What began as routine questioning quickly escalated, with Lantsman forcefully pushing back and Cochrane refusing to let the tension slip away. The result was an explosive confrontation that had viewers riveted and social media buzzing within minutes. To understand why this single moment resonated so powerfully, it helps to consider the larger political climate Canadians are living in. Following the snap federal election of April 28, 2025, Mark Carney now holds the office of Prime Minister. Carney's arrival was pitched as a reset after years of political polarization and economic anxiety, promising stability and competence in managing the country's finances. But with that change in leadership, Conservatives have faced the task of redefining their role in opposition, sharpening their criticism of a Liberal leader who presents himself as a calm technocrat. In this context, every televised clash carries higher stakes, and Lantsman's sharp rebuttals to CBC questioning reflected a party eager to prove it still has fight left in it. Melissa Lantsman, deputy leader of the Conservatives, is known for her sharp, combative style. Critics call her too aggressive, but supporters praise her ability to cut through what they see as media bias. During a tense CBC interview, host David Cochrane pressed her on whether her party's economic plan could truly ease affordability while cutting taxes. Frustrated, Lantsman accused CBC of echoing Liberal lines and shut down the questioning in an explosive moment. For Cochrane, a journalist with a reputation for measured but firm questioning, the confrontation was equally significant. Hosting a national program where politicians often come armed with rehearsed talking points is no easy task. His role is to challenge, probe, and not allow political figures to glide past scrutiny unscathed. In this instance, his persistent questioning may have struck a nerve, but it also illustrated the central role media continues to play in holding all parties accountable. To his critics, Cochrane appeared to be pressing an agenda. To his defenders, he was simply doing the job of asking tough questions that voters themselves would want answered. The political backdrop raised the stakes of this clash. With Mark Carney's Liberals in power, debates now center on whether his promises of fiscal discipline and renewal can meet challenges like inflation, housing, and strained healthcare. Conservatives, led by Pierre Poilievre and voiced by deputies like Melissa Lantsman, are intent on exposing weaknesses in Carney's leadership while positioning themselves as the true governing alternative. The media sits uneasily in between, accused by both sides of bias when confrontations erupt, creating the perfect stage for explosive live exchanges like this one. Yet this was not only theater, it revealed two individuals under immense pressure. Lantsman defended both party policy and her brand, blunt, combative, unwilling to concede ground to what her base views as establishment media. Cochrane, meanwhile, worked to balance fairness with accountability, ensuring viewers saw genuine journalism rather than unchallenged spin. The intensity of their clash unveiled the human side of politics and media alike. Instincts sharpened by pressure, tempers tested under the spotlight, and vulnerabilities exposed in real time. Public reaction to the confrontation showed just how polarized Canada has become. Lantsman supporters praised her refusal to bend as proof Conservatives won't play along with what they see as hostile media. Critics argued her defensiveness betrayed weak confidence in her party's plans. Cochrane drew the same divide. Some applauded his persistence, while others accused him of provoking rather than informing. As always, the truth lies in the messy middle, where both figures did their jobs, and the clash reflected a nation split over politics, media trust, and the tone of public debate. There is also a generational undercurrent here that makes the clash resonate beyond immediate politics. Younger audiences, raised on social media platforms where clips go viral within seconds, are drawn to high-drama exchanges that cut through long speeches and dense policy language. The clip of Lantsman shutting down Cochrane offered exactly that, an intense, unscripted moment that could be shared, meme-feed, and debated online. For a conservative party seeking to maintain relevance in a rapidly shifting media environment, such moments are invaluable in reaching voters who might otherwise tune out traditional political programming. But the danger in such confrontations is equally clear. Explosions of anger or visible frustration can energize a party's base but alienate undecided voters who may prefer calm and reasoned discourse. Similarly, journalists who push too hard risk feeding perceptions of bias that erode trust in mainstream media. In a country where political trust has been shaken repeatedly by scandals, economic uncertainty, and concerns about foreign influence, both politicians and journalists walk a fine line every time they step into a live interview. This confrontation highlighted just how delicate that balance remains. What makes this particular exchange stand out is that it so perfectly encapsulates the current moment in Canadian politics. Carney's Liberals, buoyed by electoral success, project calm stability, while Conservatives push back with passion and urgency. The media sits as the intermediary, trying to referee the conflict while being accused of partiality by both sides. The human drama of Lantsman versus Cochrane reflects, in miniature, the national drama of a country still grappling with inflation, affordability, climate policy, and the broader direction of its democracy. At the same time, the confrontation is a reminder of why democratic discourse matters. A journalist must be able to ask hard questions without fear of being shouted down. A politician must be able to defend their ideas without retreating into hostility. When both sides collide in the heat of a live interview, the result can be messy, but it can also shine a light on truths that would otherwise remain buried beneath talking points. That is why such moments grip attention so tightly. They reveal the pressures and contradictions that scripted debates often conceal. In the end, the clip titled "CBC Host Shut Down as Conservative Deputy Leader Explodes in Live Confrontation" is more than drama. It captures Canadian politics in 2025. It shows an opposition fighting to redefine itself, a government projecting stability, media facing bias accusations, and voters tired of spin but craving authenticity. By humanizing both politician and journalist, it becomes not just viral content, but a reflection of democracy under pressure.